Next up, a laughing session from the Laughing Cow. Now, unpeel a wedge of the Laughing Cow light spreadable cheese, a delicious snack with 2 grams of protein and 25 calories per wedge.
Summer's nearly over. It's time to get back to real life. Luckily, Cinch has got all the essentials sorted. And we're not talking about new textbooks. Let's see, the biggest range of cars to buy entirely online? Check. Free 90-day warranty? Sorted. And faff-free Cinch servicing at a Marshall store near you? Absolutely cinched it. Everything you need and not a pencil case in sight. Cinch it for yourself today. Visit cinch.co.uk. Comparison against equivalent retailers. Visit cinch.co.uk/range claim. Terms and exclusions apply.
A short trip here can give you a long-haul holiday here. Collect Avios on your everyday spending and jet off to somewhere special. Sign up to the British Airways Club and collect Avios on your daily commute, online shopping and groceries. Then spend your Avios on flights, car hire, hotels and more. Your everyday can pay for your holiday. Start collecting today. Search Avios. T's and C's apply.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital? Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for January 21st through 24th, 2025. Had a little bit of a shorter week this week and have a couple of Port Charles pipelines. Do we want to go with news or emails first?
News.
2 men get prison time for crimes connected to the killing of General Hospital actor Johnny Wachter.
Yay! Thank God.
Yep. So, I mean, we talked about it. Did we talk about this last week? Because I have it in, I think we just talked about the fact that
you said that they had caught someone, but I don't know. I definitely know it wasn't 2 people that got jail time that we had talked about.
Maybe it was just that they were going to court because this is dated the 16th and we recorded. Yeah, we would have recorded before that, but it was in my notes thing for today. I don't know, but if not, yay.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that it was 2 of them going to jail. So that's an update. So yay.
One of them, Gutierrez, 19, received 4 years in California State Prison after pleading no contest to grand theft and attempted robbery. And then Olano, 22, was not at the scene of the killing, was sentenced to 5 years and 8 months in prison after pleading no contest to being an accessory after the fact and receiving stolen property. How's he getting more time
when he
than the one who was there?
Yeah.
Well, this guy, okay, the one that also got the 4 years was only grand theft and attempted robbery, not for the killing.
Right.
But then there's other 2 co-defendants that are 18 that are charged with the murder.
Okay. Maybe he didn't have a record before. Maybe the guy had the lesser sentence.
Maybe. This is what we shared possibly last week, where it said earlier this month, a judge found that there was enough evidence for them to go to trial. So that's what that was. So, I mean, it's still absolutely horrible.
Right. Not long enough, but at least it's something. At least they were found.
Yeah. All right. That's it for the show, guys. Sorry. And then we have 2 emails. One, all right, we'll just go in order of that they were received. The first one is from Vinny. A basic overview of sports betting.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Hi, ladies. Great show as always. I want to give you a basic understanding of sports betting. I don't participate, but here's the gist. And how do you know? Then how do you know? Just kidding. Just kidding. It would be very easy to turn $50,000 into $5 million if the odds were 100 to 1. That means for every $1 bet. How do you not know this? You gamble like crazy.
I don't do sports betting, but it's funny. My family makes fun of me because they say that I should sports bet because when you, or at least for our local casinos, whenever you spend so much in the casinos, they want you to sports bet. I'm assuming there's more money in that. And so they're always like, here's a $5 free bet. Here's a $10 free bet, blah, blah, blah. And so the one time they sent me, it was like a $5 or $10 or something low. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so you know me, I know nothing about sports. So I just like went through the list, picked one and was like, sure, I'll bet on that. No idea. The next day I got an email and it was like, congratulations, your team won. You turned your $10 bet into $350. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exciting.
That was so funny.
Ryan's always like, stop doing the slot machines and just do the sports betting. And I'm like, no, that's no fun because I don't understand.
Yeah, because you would have a good run and then you would have to figure it out.
But like nothing's going to be 100 to 1 odds.
Right. Like I've done like the football, ones like with friends, like, pick a block or whatever. Or I've done March Madness. March Madness, my friend Tara and I used to do every year. And I really do miss this. I know enough about basketball and I don't pay attention like at all anymore. But back then I at least paid better attention to it. And honestly, a lot of the times we did just pick based on the names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonzaga was always in our top.
There you go. Fun name. Let's go.
So exactly. So, but so that means for every $1 bet, if your bet wins, you win $100 for every $1. However, with sports betting, there are also handicaps. So if Landview was favored to win by 6 points, that means that PCU was able to lose by anything less than 6 points, and the people betting on PCU would still win. That's called covering the spread. The fact that Landview won by more than the allotted number of points, the people betting on PCU still lost. Hope this helps. I can try to explain more if necessary. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Sonny. That does help.
It helps, but not enough to get us into it. Just enough for us to pass that information along to other people.
Yeah, I guess our real question should have been, if you know a way to turn 50,000 into 5 million and you know the team that the odds are 100 to 1, then give us that information because I don't know where you're going to find that.
I can maybe come up with a couple $1,000 if we wanted a sure thing, but yeah. I hate I do it to support people, but like, those $10, the $20 tickets that you buy for the meat freezer, whatever. Like I do it just because it supports the kids' activities and everything, which is funny because I literally just texted you earlier saying that we need to get back to bingo and horse racing.
Yes.
But that's we spend the same amount that we would if we were going out to dinner or something like that. So it's just it's more of the activity. Yes. It's the activity that we're doing as friends, that we're hanging out for the whole night, just having a good time. It's not, yes, it helps when we go home with baskets and cash. So, but there's definitely been plenty of times where we have not and had just as much fun.
Exactly. You still have fun whether you win or lose at those events, where other things, especially if you spend too much money, you're just sad at the end. So
right, exactly. So then we have GH thoughts from Melanie. She's written into us a few times. Hi, ladies. Happy New Year. Apologies in advance because I have so many thoughts about GH and who better to share it with than you two. Eventually, we'll get back to fan spotlights and we can have one with that. And I'm going to forget that I said that, Melanie, so you have to remind us. And everybody else that is on the spreadsheet that has filled out the form for fan spotlights, we promise we'll get to it. We hope that you're still listening. It's not you, it's us.
Yep.
And if you're still listening, then you know that. Last year was a crazy year for us. So anyway, that said, please don't feel like you have to read this all in the show because it's a lot. It's not really that much. Okay. She has good paragraphs. Okay. I'm going to start with Drew. He is so far from who he used to be that now I'm thinking it must be some kind of mind control. No, we're not excusing it. Let's just let it go. Cassadine brainwashing? Ooh, maybe Charlotte hit him up with the tarot cards and I have a feeling they're going to write something in to, quote, explain his behavior and complete personality change. Maybe he won't be Drew after all. And the temporary Drew that came back from Afghanistan is actually someone who somehow only got those memories. And now they're starting to wear off. And he's going back to Jason and Drew are triplets. What? Sorry, I just took that way too far.
But no, we're not going to change it. We're not going to excuse it because we'll get into it. He explained it this week. Like Curtis 100% said exactly that to him and he had an explanation and we're going to take him at what he said.
Yep. They need to do something though, because he and Willow are just gross. I honestly feel so bad for the actors because the Brooklyn and Dante of it all, what I'm thinking is that Brooklyn got pregnant, told her mother and no one else. I don't think Dante was ever told. And when she put the baby up for adoption, Lois decided to keep the baby in the family, so to speak, by having Gio adopted by a close family friend. And the only way this will ever make sense to me is if Brooklyn had no idea that Gio is hers. Oh.
Did they say her baby was a girl or a boy yet?
Brooklyn hasn't said, but what if Brooklyn doesn't know?
Oh, okay.
If Brooklyn was so set, so this actually just happened to friends on a baby, like very, very, very last minute, the mom knew that she didn't want to keep the baby and did not want to see the baby at all. Took perfect care of the baby, has children. There's other reasons why she just couldn't care for another one.
Yeah.
Had a perfect pregnancy. Like she took care of the baby. She knew from day one that she was going to, but people would back out. But so I don't think that the mom even knows what she knows, that the baby was born fine and healthy and everything, but I don't know if she knows anything more than that. I know that she never held the baby or anything like that. So they were there. Like they were there when baby was born and they did the skin on skin and oh my gosh, my goodness gracious, it's just amazing. But so what if Brooklyn doesn't know? She's going to be so mad at Lois.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's not right. That's not right. And I don't know that Lois could do that because as much as you tell yourself, like, that's kind of like the stories that you hear about people that the daughter has a baby young. And so then the mom is just like, I'll raise it like your sibling. I don't know how you could live in that house and not be like, that's my baby. Like, don't yell at my daughter, or don't, style her hair that way, or don't dress her in that god awful outfit. Like, how you would not have that connection. And so I don't think that Lois is the person who would be able to see Gio and not be like, that's my grandson.
Right. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they would do that.
I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility.
But I agree.
It would make more sense that Brooklyn doesn't know. But I just don't, even though it would be for Gio's best interest, I don't see how Lois would not have any interaction.
Well, and especially after both of the parents die.
Right.
She didn't think to step in.
Right, exactly.
But I'm super encouraged by Friday's episode. I would love to see Maxie, Brooklyn, and Lulu team up and become this amazing girl power group. I'm just so mad at Tracy about it, though.
Yep.
Because she picked Lulu over her granddaughter.
Yep. And Lulu was trying to be gracious about it. She was like, no, we already talked about it. Like, it's totally fine. If Tracy would have walked in the beginning of the conversation when Lulu was like, pick me, then I could understand her not getting all of it and being like, I'm hiring her, end of conversation. But Lulu said, we talked about it and I'm going to go ask Carly for a job instead. So for her to make it, Lulu couldn't have said no at that point. Double the salary. Who could say no to that?
She could have, but
unrealistic. Yeah.
Yes. And then watching Laura and Anna with Sidwell, was great. The side eye Laura gave was epic. I have said it before. We need to ensure her eyebrows. That arch she does. I want to know at what point in her life did she know she could do it?
Right.
I love these two women running Port Charles. Watching Jason choose Quartermaines over Sonny and Carly was shocking to me, but I'm so glad for once he did. I was excited for you guys when I saw your peer on the show. I was so excited for you. So was I.
Yep.
I'm also very teary and smiley watching Lucky and Liz. Love the way they are revisiting their early chemistry based on friendship and respect. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction for who could take over Sonny's business? Rick.
Oh, yeah. I would love if Brick was around more often. That would be a perfect setup for that.
Mm-hmm. And then keep up the great work. I love your podcast and look forward to both every week. And since I'm a somewhat newer listener, I've been working my way through your backlog. Oh, thank you. We apologize for the first year. Let's just put it that way. I feel like we really got the groove of the character backgrounds with Dante, and I thought you were going to kill me over that because I was just like on a spiral of, but I didn't watch when Dante came on. I need to finish this. So lastly, if you ever finish Lucky, Monica, and Bobby, no shade, I appreciate your attention to detail so much. I'd like to offer for your consideration a 411 topic. Just like your Jagger and Karen or Lucky and Liz, my first teen romance story that got me hooked was Blackie and Lou. Maybe you could put them on your list.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for reading my ramble and for the show. Ta, Melanie. So my suggestion, Melanie, is we've asked for this before, but it's been a long time since we've asked for it.
I know
And
exactly
maybe we could ask for this for the summer because I feel like we should possibly be wrapped up with Lucky by then. And maybe Bobby, or at least have a dent, tell us that story. You know,
Right.
You write the 411. Yeah, I've never, I mean, I'd be more than happy to go and watch it and everything, but I know other than it's John Stamos, nothing about Blackie. I would love to hear from that being your story. Tell us the story.
I really feel like she could definitely, any of the listeners that were in love with any of the storylines that we weren't, directly in love with or around for, would do a better job. Because if not, it's just us reading it. Like it really is. Because when we read the stuff now, there is one of us who's always like, oh my God, I remember blah, blah, blah. Or did you think of this whenever that or whatever? Because we connect with it. It takes us back to being those ages whenever we fell in love with them. But reading, like, I know that the Blackie storyline was like huge back then, but I don't know anything about it. So it really would just be reading. I would much rather hear somebody else's love the way that we talk about Jagger and Karen or Lucky and Liz.
And because a lot of the YouTube channels have been taken down too. So remember, like Robert and Holly, we were able to go back and watch.
Right.
And a lot of the channels have been taken down. So like a lot of those further back episodes aren't even there. And honestly, I feel bad even bringing attention to them because I don't want them to be discovered. I mean, those people earn the respect for doing it and we're thankful for it. But I don't want to be the reason why it gets attention brought to them is the wrong person picks up on a hashtag in our show notes and then is taken to our sources and then is like, wait a second, because the cartel's not even there anymore. Like, come on, the cartel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's because we told the story of the cartel, but
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
If they're not going to let us watch other people's clips that they've put together, then they should release it all on Disney or something like we've talked about so that we can go back and watch it from them.
Absolutely. But no, I would absolutely, Melanie, seriously, write it up. You don't even have to clear it with us. We trust that any fan that is going to take the time to do the research and everything knows, we just don't do the swearing ship wars or spoilers. But I mean, Blackie's not been around for quite some time now. Tell us the story. I would love to. And if any of you others have, storylines or something that you're passionate about from the show that you feel like you want to tell people, what's your favorite story to tell people about General Hospital? Like when people go, why are you a fan of GH? What's your story to go back to and say, well, it started when, for me, Lucky and Liz, that's the first thing I remember. Like that's what got me hooked. So of course now I'm like, yay. Some people it was Liz and Jason. And so they do not like Lucky and Liz.
Oh, they're just wrong.
Some people prefer Nina over Carly. Some people prefer Carly over Nina. And we've had that conversation and Amanda did well with it. So I would love that. I would love that. So moving on, Jenz is on the opening credits now.
Oh, I did not notice that.
I saw it on Friday, so I don't know if I just didn't see it the rest of the week, but yeah, he was on Friday.
Okay.
And then speaking of Lucky and Liz, we are going to part 12 of Lucky and Liz, part 19 of Lucky this upcoming Thursday.
We're just never going to stop talking about Lucky. We're sorry.
Ever. Okay, so Hulu headlines. Lucky's in it. That's it. That's all you need to know. On Tuesday, Willow voices her regrets. Sonny and Ava clash. Sasha updates Maxie. Tracy stonewalls Anna. Carly is grateful to Brennan. On Wednesday, Isaiah presses Sonny. Jason plays peacemaker. Lucky and Elizabeth gain some insight. Lulu and Dante spar. Kristina hosts the reopening of Charlie's. That never closed. But that's just a whole other thing. Phyllis did not just up and leave one day. On Thursday, Rick comes through for Ava. Lucas and Jocelyn compare notes. Laura learns of a possible threat. Natalia gets through to Sonny. Mac gives Cody some tough love. And then on Friday, Tracy lays down the law. Brennan surprises Carly. Nina encourages Willow. Lulu gets a tempting offer, and Trina visits Kai. So I watched everything in one day.
Oh my.
Well, I watched half of Fridays this morning. So where do you want to start?
Just because it's like self-contained. Earlier in the week, I saw a picture of Joss with the little clippies in her hair, and I scrolled past because I didn't want to read whatever they were posting about. But when I saw it, I was like, please tell me that we're not bringing this back as a style. Like, that was horrible. Please don't do that. And then
clips were so cute.
No. Do not do that. Well, I have super thick hair. Maybe I have heat for it because of that. I have super thick hair, so I could not use those little baby clips. Like, you could seriously hold 3 strands of my hair with this little clippies. So I was never.
I didn't use them either. They were just cute.
They didn't.
I was mad I couldn't use them.
But when I saw her, I was like, please don't be bringing this back. And then when I watched this week, and Lucas was like, oh, you look beautiful. And she went into the whole spiel of how the girls did it before they fell asleep. I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. Thank you. Thank you for not being one of those trends that are coming back, because no. But
we need to get those, those headbands that had like the jaggedy. Oh, those hurt so much.
Those hurt very badly. Well, I said, this is totally off topic, but just for a second, Emily.
What a shock.
Emily was watching, oh my gosh. Oh, it's called Exo Kitty. I don't know if your daughter's watched it, but it's like a teen drama, whatever. I think it may even be based off a book. But anyway, it had like one season of it, and then the next season just started. So she was like binging it the other day. And so this girl walks out and she has a headband on, but she has like the headband tucked behind her ears, but then hair like still in front of the headband. And I was like, why? What is the point of a headband if you're going to have hair in front of your ear still? Like, a headband, that's the whole point. It pushes everything back. And Emily was like, no, that makes your hair look stupid. Like, that's the way that you wear it now. So they put it like behind their ears, and like this part of their hair still is like styled down in front. And I was
that would drive me insane.
Right? So I'm going to find a picture and send it to you just so you can be like, what are you talking about? So it was kind of like that. I'm like, please stop messing with the hair things that we used back when. And please, if you're going to, at least use them correctly. But those thingies that you're talking about, those hurt. Like, don't bring those back.
No, those were, what were those even called? It was just like teeth.
It was.
And you had to put it around your neck first.
Right, you had to scratch your neck before you put it into your hair.
We really tortured ourselves.
Anything for the height of fashion.
Right.
But anyway, so Joss went on to talk to Lucas about how they were babysitting the girls because Carly was with Michael in Germany. And then that's whenever they were comparing the notes of what do they think that Cyrus is guilty of. And he was like, I'll give you information, but you can't do anything with it. And I loved, she was like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, of course I'm going to do something with it. Like, I need this information. Tell me what's going on. And then the next day you saw her at Turning Woods signing up for volunteer hours so that she can be like in the thick of it to figure out what Cyrus is doing bad.
Yep. I did like that she was like, oh yeah, by the way, I basically told the guy that I think killed Dex, watch yourself.
Yep.
I don't understand. And I did go like on a little bit of a, what's going on here? Because didn't they start college the same year my son did?
Did they? I thought they were a year behind our kids.
Okay. Then I'll give them a year.
A year behind.
Okay. Then I'll give them a year. It's like, okay, I understand why Trina would not be graduating yet because she had taken some time off. And I know that Joss switched her major, so that obviously puts you behind. Well, not obviously, but typically if you switch your major, that delays things.
Right.
But like Cam hasn't taken any time off. Why isn't he talking about graduation or anything? So, okay, I'll give him a year.
Yes.
If at this time next year, we're not talking about them coming back or graduating, not coming back. That was it. That was all that I was thinking.
I'm pretty sure that they are a year behind what our kids would be.
Okay. I guess from there, real quick, we could just hop over to Trina, and she went to go visit Kai and brought him some water and protein bars and all that other stuff that she learned would be good for him. And it turns out that he's never going to play football again.
Yeah, I felt bad because she walked in there totally blind. She had just seen Stella and was like, so how's he doing? And Stella was like, he has the best attitude and he's like ready to get back at it. And he's even not upset about not going on to the draft or whatever. He's going to stay at PCU, blah, blah, blah. And then she walks in there like totally depressed and upset.
The thing is, too, though, Stella knew that the doctor was going in. So
wouldn't you have waited?
Maybe.
Yeah. But also, they told Curtis he'd never walk again. They told how many other people that nothing was going to ever work out. So that's the stuff. That's what Trina is going to need to say to him. Like, they told my dad he would never walk again, and look at him. So even though that whole storyline was ridiculous, that needs to be her like inspiration. No, the
storyline wasn't ridiculous. Them taking him out of having a disability was ridiculous.
Right. I mean, the storyline of the experimental surgery, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that just like, first of all, it happened way too fast. And yeah, that part of the storyline. He should have stayed in the wheelchair like we've talked about before. But if they weren't going to do that, his recovery at least should have taken way longer than what it did.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, she'll need to tell him those inspirational stories so that he can get through it.
Snooze.
Yeah. I feel like they could have made the story with them interesting without doing that. Like, why do we have to take everything away from everyone? This is how we met this kid, is he's the star football player. And now within 3 months, we have to take his whole career away from him for what?
Because he's going to switch to being an art major, and then he and Trina are going to fall in love and do arts things together. And then Spencer's going to come back.
Okay, but they could have fallen in love because he already said he was staying at PCU for the next year. And he had already said that he had an interest in art now. So we didn't need to make him not a football player.
But now he's just going to explore that even more.
Well, that's stupid. Because I also liked seeing the other side of Trina, where she was, like me, completely sports oblivious. And now she's like, oh, wait, okay, explain it to me. I want to be involved in your world, which is what you do whenever you like somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have seen them both grow, or to keep, if we did this in a year with him, but yeah, because now it's going to be like this was his fallback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he should have got to continue with football and then make a choice after that. Besides the fact that they have the kids like out and about now, like with Emma coming back and stuff, like they're going to the bars to meet up and stuff. It would totally make sense that they're into sports and watching that stuff, and that he's explaining other sports to her and that kind of stuff. Like, they're really just limiting everything with this. I don't get it. Stop taking everything away from people.
Yes, seriously.
You're allowed to have a good life.
No.
Talking about people taking things away. Poor Drew this week. He went to Curtis and wanted to buy shares back because it's not fair that they took his thing away from him. He built Aurora from the ground up.
Sorry, you can't hear my eyes rolling.
Everybody feels so bad for Drew.
Wow.
Oh my God. It was painful to even watch.
It really is. I mean, it's just, I like how Curtis held his own and was like, no, you are doing this and you're going to succeed at like taking your nephew's wife. How do I know that you're actually going to uphold everything that you're saying right now? And I am just so over. It's like they have the same words or the same sentences in like a Yahtzee cup, and they're just like shaking it up and then like throwing it out and going, okay, here's where we're going to put, but what we have is real and we weren't expecting this and we couldn't control ourselves and we just have a real connection.
Yep. Yeah, it's not his fault. Willow's not the only married person to end up developing feelings for other people. And of course, you have to just go with it. You can't respect your marriage. Come on. It's not her fault.
It didn't work with mine before, just like it didn't work with yours.
That's right. That's right. But I loved Curtis. He was like, I wouldn't disrespect Michael like this if he was down the hall in his office. I sure as heck am not going to do it when he's in another country recovering from third-degree burns.
Right.
Thanks anyway. Right. I wish that he would have been recording, though, whenever, because first Drew was all like, wow, give me what I want, wow. And then whenever he was like, no, I'm not giving you what you want. Too bad. Then Drew got nasty and was like, fine, I'll bring this company down to its knees. I don't care. If I'm not going to profit from it, I don't need to bother helping it. I wish that Curtis would have been recording that to send that to Willow and be like, is this the man you're in love with?
Has he, doesn't he have other things he should be doing right now as a congressman?
I would think so.
I feel like you just got sworn into office. How about we don't do corporate espionage first?
Right. And that was when Curtis called.
I could be wrong at how it works.
I mean, I would hope that people in office have better things to do. I don't understand exactly what their duties are, but I would really hope that there's something else. But Curtis said to him, like, you are not the man that I met and became friends with. I don't know what happened to you. And he blamed it all on joining Congress. He was like, I didn't have these opportunities. And then McConkey was like, you would be great for office. And it opened up all these doors and it made me start wanting something I had never even considered before. So that means that you have to turn into a jerk? Like,
right. And you have not done anything yet.
Nope. And the ideas that you were standing on weren't yours to begin with.
Yep. I just...
so mad.
And then, though, Anna, when Drew and Martin went to the PCPD, I loved watching Anna and Tracy.
Yes.
And Tracy's like, I don't know where the children are. I don't know what you're talking about. And Drew's like, you need to be charging her with obstruction of justice. And she's like, I'm not letting you guys use the PCPD to fight the Q battles. And says to Drew, I don't even know why you're involved with this. This is Willow's issue.
Yes, exactly. If Willow is
not yours
on here, not you, you're not on the petition.
Yep. And then Drew says to Tracy that like she's using Monica to make a power play and like all this stuff. And
it was all just ridiculous. And I loved Tracy through the whole thing because she was like, yeah, no, those are Quartermaine kids and you only use Quartermaine as a last name to get what you want, but I'm gonna make sure kids are actually taken care of because Willow is out of her mind right now and she's 100% right.
Yep.
And I was very happy. I can't believe I'm saying this 2 weeks in a row. I can't believe it. I was happy with Nina because Willow says, you know, maybe after Tracy shows up, this was dumb on Tracy's part though. Tracy shows up and is like, there's some rules I need to impose now that you're back at the gatehouse. And Willow's like, listen, I moved back in here because I thought it was best for the kids and because I'm trying to be respectful for Monica, but like, I'm not negotiating with you anymore. You took my kids from me. And then Tracy leaves and she's like, oh, Nina, maybe I should have listened to Drew. And Nina's like, no, you listened to yourself. And did you see how much happier you were? Stop letting me tell you what to do. So I was super happy with Nina, but I was super annoyed with Willow because if she said like mom or mommy one more time, I swear I was going to punch her. It was so, ugh. Do you remember how much you hated this woman? Stop.
Right. But Tracy going to her and Nina yelling at her for being in Willow's house. And what does Tracy say?
It is not.
It's
Willow's
Monica's house. I don't agree that Alan gave it to her, but it's Monica's house.
That's right.
And Willow has proved herself unworthy, untrustworthy, and sees a little Nell in her.
Yes, that was good. That was a good stab. Nothing worse than being called or compared to Nell.
I did like also that Anna called Jason and was like, hey, you need to get down here and talk some sense into Tracy because she's not understanding.
Yeah.
Like she understood where she was coming from, like on the grandmother, on the matriarch. standpoint, but it's like she's really not understanding how big of a deal this is, that we really could put her in jail, and Jason came down and was like, do you understand? Like, you're willing to risk going to jail? And she's like, I'm not going to jail. I have too much money. But then she winds up going to booking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the fight. Netflix said about the fight between Dante and Lulu. That was the fight.
Yeah.
She showed up and
I was trying to figure that out because I'm like, I don't even have Dante on here.
Yes, that was I
took very bad notes, but
no, your notes are fine, I'm sure. But I saw you make the face as you read it. Like, what are they talking about? And it was so insignificant. That's why you didn't make a note, because she went and was like, let me talk to Tracy. And he was like, no, she's being held. You can't talk to prisoners or whatever. And she's like, seriously, dude, I can talk to her and make her see what's going on here. Wouldn't it be worth it, instead of you going through all that paperwork, if I could just get her to see like the rational side? And then she goes in and talks to Tracy, and then Jason comes in with the deal. And so then Lulu goes back out and is like, all right, so the charges are going to be dropped. Let me take her home. And he's like, no, you can't take her home until they're officially dropped. And then 5 seconds later, the desk sergeant gets the call that the charges are being dropped. And so she's like, okay, I'm going to take her home now. It wasn't like, it was a little bit flirty, and it was just kind of like, that's how you would normally be. Like, I don't know. Like, my ex is a cop. If he had somebody in interrogation that I knew on a personal level and felt like a 5-minute conversation could clear everything up, I would have had that exact same conversation. It's not arguing. It's hey, common sense. Let me talk to them for 5 minutes instead of making you actually go through with booking them and all that extra crap you're going to have to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
Hulu made that a little bit more of a deal than it needed to be.
Yeah. Ooh, I did like and agreed with Carly at the beginning of the week when Willow had to go see her husband when he was asking for Sasha.
Yes. Yes, he was.
And Portia comes out and says that she had to have sedated Michael because Willow wore him out.
Yep.
And Sasha shows up and is wondering why Michael asked to talk to her. Carly says because he thought he'd be awake, but Willow wouldn't let that happen. Mm-hmm. And then Jason takes her aside, though, and is like, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
But she decides that's when she said that she was going to go to Germany with Michael to be there, even though she can't even be with him. She still has to be near him. I get that as a mom, 100%. Not for reality check, like ruining it or anything, but like my son was sick this week and didn't tell me. And I feel like we talk almost every day, like we at least text or something, but then like it's not for nothing. Like every now and again, there's a couple days that go, how days just kind of fly by. You're like, holy cow, it's been 3 days since I even talked to you. I'm sorry. And he's like, it's fine. I've been sick, blah, blah, blah. And then yesterday we were texting and I was like, hey, you there? He's like, yeah, I've just been trying to get caught up, because he was sick and blah, blah. I was like, here's the deal. When you've been sick and your mom texts you, you answer. I'm like, that's where it is. I'm like, if the last thing we talked about was I'm doing whatever, I was like, but if you've been sick, you answer. And I forget what it was. He said something. I was like, dude, I went to school and raised you. You can answer me. I made time for you. You can make time for me. And he's like, oh my gosh. My kids love whenever I do weird threats like that because I'm like mostly joking.
But it is funny because our kids will oftentimes say things like, oh, there's not enough time. And being the ages that we were whenever we had them, we have to just be like, no, seriously, you don't even know what it's like to be stressed. Okay. Like, we did all that plus you. Okay.
But like, I seriously have no idea how I actually did it. Like, people ask me sometimes, I'm like, I really have no clue. Like, it makes me tired just thinking about it.
It's the wonderful thing about being young. You just manage to get through it and somehow have the energy. If you had to do half that stuff now, you would be like, oh my God, no, thank you.
Nope. No. I give people all the credit in the world. Like when they go back to school, like older and everything, I'm like,
right.
Oh my gosh, it was exhausting when I was just coming. I mean, I only took a year off, I think. But then because I was a baby when I graduated high school, I wound up graduating with people my own age because I started as a baby. Well, not as a baby, but I was
a year early.
I was the youngest. Yeah. So, it's absolutely crazy. But
right. So no, I was glad that Carly went with him because that made sense. And I liked seeing that. emotion. And it was actually sweet that Brennan showed up and is like, I just thought maybe you could need a friend, that you would need a friend. I had a meeting, so I thought I'd stop by. And I liked how real she was. She was like, can we just order in? Like, I can't go out. I'm so upset.
And that's such a good friend where it's just like, and one of my friends, you know, she and I talk all the time about one day, like when we're like 80 and when we're in the nursing home and everything, we're just going to like take naps. It's, and yeah, it's just, you just want someone that you can just be like, can I just get some takeout and we can just sit there and veg and like just watch junky TV and not actually talk about anything. And, but we heard him tell her about how back in his early days at the WSB, a mission went wrong. One guy took it so hard. Okay, so someone died. Somebody took it so hard that they got out of the WSB, and then the other person, it ruined his marriage. And that people think that because he didn't respond outwardly, that it didn't bother him. Mm-hmm. Do we know this story? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Because I didn't have enough time to like go down the rabbit hole, but I'm like, okay, could it have been Robert, you know, and it ruined his marriage to Anna?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't ring a bell. Like, I mean, it really could just be anybody.
Yeah. So I guess we shall see. I don't really know where to go from there.
Trying to think what else happened.
Well, I guess we could go to where Ava went to Sonny and was like, seriously,
no.
Avery could have been there. Oh my gosh, though. Okay, so Kristina and Alexis were on the pier. Yay! And Ava shows up. So they're just talking about Michael, and Kristina's like, yeah, this was a good idea. I need to get out of the hospital, just get some fresh air, you know. Mm-hmm. Ava shows up, and she does actually extend condolences to Michael. And I truly, really don't think Ava thought about what she said when she said, it's just a shame that they didn't actually hit their target and Michael was there instead.
Yep.
Because I also don't think she meant she wants Sonny dead, because we've talked about that. Like, we've heard her say, like, I don't like him and I don't agree with him and everything, but she does not want the father of her daughter to die.
Mm.
Summer's nearly over. It's time to get back to real life. Luckily, Cinch has got all the essentials sorted. And we're not talking about new textbooks. Let's see, the biggest range of cars to buy entirely online? Check. Free 90-day warranty? Sorted. And faff-free Cinch servicing at a Marshall store near you? Absolutely cinched it. Everything you need and not a pencil case in sight. Cinch it for yourself today. Visit cinch.co.uk. Comparison against equivalent retailers. Visit cinch.co.uk/range claim. Terms and exclusions apply.
And Kristina, she's like, wait, what? Did you just really tell me?
Right?
And I think that perhaps Kristina and Alexis slightly understood where she was coming from, because they didn't have the response that there was nothing, there was no arguing, there was no yelling. There was a, well, I think you really just said that.
Yeah. And I think that you saw it from Kristina's response later on, whenever they were at Charlie's and Lucy was like, oh, I just like made commission off of another property. And then she was like, Ava, and then she stopped herself and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And Kristina was like, listen, everybody has to make their money and everybody needs a place to live. So it's like, whatever, like, good job.
Right.
Instead of being like, oh yeah, I don't want to hear her name because earlier today she told me she wished that my dad was dead. So.
Right. And the thing that actually did
oh, sorry. I feel like that's what something old Kristina would have said. Like, she would have pulled on that drama and been like, oh, yeah, let me tell you this.
And the only thing that really actually did seem to actually upset Kristina was when she said that she was going to be calling her as a witness again in the custody.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then Kristina did respond by asking, did you try to have my dad killed?
Yes.
Is that how? So I'm sorry, she did respond. But when Ava was like, no, seriously, should not have said that, did not really mean it, you know, but then she said something about you don't know how to quit. And then that's when she left. And then Alexis stepped in and was like, if you don't knock it off, like, you're going to have to answer to me. And she told her about Kristina. She told her about how she understood. That's the thing. I think that's what Alexis was like, you seriously need to watch yourself, because that was a little ridiculous. I understand what you're thinking, though, because my sister Kristina died in a fire or a bombing that was intended for Sonny. So totally understand. Just you didn't need to really not say that.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And Ava was like, well, then you should know what I mean. And she was like, I do know what you mean, but you still don't get to say that. Like, at the end of the day, you're still wishing that Sonny died, and that's not okay.
Right.
So, no,
And
don't say that.
And Alexis even told her, it's not that Kristina doesn't care about Avery and doesn't not want this to happen to Avery. It's you're making her relive that day over and over again by bringing it up with her again and making her go to trial against her dad and, losing the baby and all that stuff. Do you want that to happen if it was Avery? Like, if someone was doing this to Avery, how would you feel? And I think that kind of like struck Ava. She was like, oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, it definitely did seem to resonate with her that then she backed away. So I don't like them putting her and Rick together, though. Like, he took her to the apartment and is like, hey, I'm showing you this because it looks more stable, which he's absolutely right. It looks more stable for the courts to see.
He get access to it.
That I didn't know.
Attorneys
I knew that was going to drive
have
me crazy.
lockbox apps. Oh my gosh. So some people put contractor lockboxes on. It's just when we were looking for our house, so there was a contractor lockbox on one of the houses. So the way that I open houses is I have an app that is connected to my account through my Bluetooth, and it is like a major violation if I gave you my phone and said, here, go look at this house. Like, that's not good. This guy, the agent we were using, texted JD the code and said, here, just go check out the house and everything. So we went.
Oh my God.
And I remember learning that. I was like, oh, that guy should not have done that. And it was a contractor lockbox, which that's like the kind you can go to Home Depot and just get, it's literally what it sounds like. Like, I have one for when I have contractors doing work on houses that need to be coming in and out. And I have okay by the seller to have that on there. That person is the only one who can access it, whatever. But still, attorneys don't show houses. Stay in your lane, Rick.
I was thinking maybe the apartment complex had an on-site manager that let them in, but to me that doesn't make sense that Lucy would get a kickback, because I feel like apartments like that don't have realtors.
If you bring the tenant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like property managers and stuff. Not all, but some. So if there's a property management, and if I have a renter, if they're willing to, sometimes it's 1 month's rent, sometimes it's a flat fee, whatever. It's a wide variety. But at the same time, if there was an on-site property manager, why weren't they the ones there with Rick and Ava?
Well, that's what I just thought, was maybe they were chill about it. Here you go. Just come by my office after you're done looking at it and let me know what you're thinking or whatever.
Right.
But was that Dex's old apartment?
No. The setup was all wrong.
I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be Dex's or Molly and TJ's. What? I
don't think it was either.
It kind of looked like Dex's, but there was a fireplace. Did Dex have a fireplace? I don't know that he did.
I don't think he did.
But
I mean,
anyway,
I think it's
maybe it's not the same. I just assume they reused.
I don't think it is
location. But she says to him, Nina warned me about you. You're getting all nasty because I don't have money to pay you. And I'm not even saying that Rick's wrong, because you do a service, you deserve to get paid. Friendship only goes so far. But he's like, no, I'm looking out for you, and that's why I'm bringing you here, because you should have a home instead of live at the hotel, blah 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 blah. And she apologizes to him for being a jerk, and then they end up kissing again. And I'm like, seriously, aren't you not supposed to mix business and pleasure like that? I'm pretty sure that you shouldn't be hooking up with your attorney. Come on.
Might be a little bit of a conflict, especially when you are trying to
take custody of his niece.
Right. Exactly. And his brother doesn't like him very much. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
The factor. How many women have to sleep with both of them?
And a son.
It's just so gross.
It is. It really is.
I'm like, come on, Ava.
It was funny, though, because right before it was happening, I was just sitting here going, nope. Oh, okay. Because it seemed like for a second they weren't going to. And then I went, are you kidding me? And I didn't realize that JD was right outside in the living room. He comes in, he's like, so something happened, but I didn't yell. There was nothing. I was just sitting here no. Yeah.
I think I said, please stop out loud. Just please stop. I don't want to see it. It's so
this doesn't have to happen.
Like, I'm fine. I don't understand how any woman in Port Charles could date Rick after hearing the stories about him. But, women still date my ex after hearing the stories about him. So, okay. But
it only takes the right woman to not get you locked up in a secret room. To be fair, though, okay, I still don't think that was ever okay, but I kind of understand emotionally where he was when I don't fully understand because I've never been there, but it's not like he just decided to kidnap Carly. It was triggered by losing the baby.
If that had been the only bad thing that he ever did, I would 100% give him that excuse. But again, he slept with Alexis and then her daughter on purpose to get back at her and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, he's just a bad guy. Yuck. So I don't understand how any woman in Port Charles could date him, but I'm not even opposed to him having a love interest if that's really what we need to do with the character. It just doesn't need to be someone that's already been with his brother and nephew.
Well, I mean, do we have... Oh, you know what would have been an interesting one? Had him actually get together with Natalia, because Sonny has not.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good one. Yep. See, I'll take it.
It's not very many other options, though.
Yeah, I guess there's not, but still.
I guess speaking of Natalia, so Ava went to Sonny and was like, listen, we've talked about this before, and this has happened before where, I get my daughter back because of how dangerous things are with you. Maybe we need to consider this again. And after she leaves, he has a heart episode, and Natalia comes in because apparently we wait until the last minute to get the okay from someone on a big purchase that's supposed to happen like the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how that went.
Cool. Don't do that on the sign off of the initial sales agreement or anything like that. I mean,
nope.
Cool.
He had a lot going on, so it was better to just wait to the last minute.
So Natalia finds him, calls 911. He comes to. It's quick thinking though that she did take his pill bottle.
Yeah.
I think she said it was take something, and she's like, well, if I give him a little bit, this should be at least good enough.
It said take 1 4 times a day. And so she was like, oh, 1 pill. All right, we're good.
Yeah. And so then he decides, no, don't call the hospital, whatever, call Isaiah. And then Isaiah was at Charlie's, which we'll get to in a second. And he was with Jordan and he had to leave. And he tells Sonny straight up, he's like, I'm not your personal physician, because if I had not recognized the number, I would not have answered.
Right. And I'm not a cardiologist.
That too.
You need to see.
Right. That too. And he even suggests, go to Mercy. Nobody knows you there.
Right. Well, so then later we see, so Natalia says that she'll stay with him because he says that he doesn't want Sonny left alone. So Natalia says she'll stay. So they end up back at the Metro Court. And she's like, I can see that you're doing business. Stop doing business. You're supposed to be stress-free. And then Brick, who had also been at Charlie's, and Jordan, we'll talk about that in a minute, shows up. And Natalia's like, okay, I'm going to go talk to Kristina or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But Brick gets an appointment for him in California. And then he's like, well, I don't know how I'm going to make an excuse that I need to be away from here. Like, why do I need to go to California? Why wouldn't you just tell everyone that you were going to Greece or wherever the heck Michael is? Germany. That's
Germany.
Right. Germany. Why wouldn't you just say, like, I'm out of town because my son? No one needs to know where exactly you went. They're not really tracking your airplane tickets. Come on.
Right. Or, hey, I just need to go to the island to escape for a little bit. Yeah. I need a mental break. He's very honest about his bipolar. He needs a mental break. He just almost died. His son almost died.
Right. Any of those seem like excuses that the other mob families would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Because he already told Kristina earlier in the week, too, I think, that no one could go visit Michael because his immune system was compromised. So, no one else could. It was very, very, very limited. Right. But yeah, he could definitely be like, listen, but I can't stay here. I need to clear my mind for a week.
Right.
Or even, I mean, I don't know if this would be possible, but I feel like at least the initial consult could be done on Zoom.
That's what I was thinking. Isaiah could order the same blood work. They could say, we want this, this, and this run. Or an EKG. I feel like all of those can be done outpatient. That's not a hospital stay.
We'll send a private nurse to your home to draw the blood. we'll send this kit, you know, and on our virtual appointment, we'll tell you to put the patch here and the patch here and blah, 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 blah. And we control it from way over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot that we could done virtually.
Yep. I agree. I don't understand. I just didn't understand why it was such a big deal. Like, because Brick ended up saying, well, I'll leave you guys to it so you can brainstorm about why Sonny would leave town. Sonny has 1,000 reasons to leave town. It's okay. He could even say, like, maybe he doesn't need to say that he has a heart problem, but normal people go to the doctor. Like, you're kind of supposed to do that. So he could just say, and again, bipolar, I'm meeting with a special psychiatrist in California.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was absurd that it was like a whole conversation or whatever.
Yep.
But I was so glad to see Brick back, though. I love Brick.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes walking into Charlie's as Jordan's walking in, and he's like, hey, I could buy you a drink. You want to, like, sit down, blah, blah, blah. And I loved Jordan. She's like, sorry, I already have plans with somebody. And then she walked right over to Isaiah, and they did the whole cheek kiss thing. And Brick was not a happy man.
No, he was not. Rick, though, I like them.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Isaiah questioned, like, who's that man over there who does not look happy that we're together? And she was like, oh, he's an associate of Sonny's. He's very nice. He can give you all kind of information when he feels like it. And then Isaiah got called away to Sonny. And so then Brett came over and was like, oh, looks like your evening got cut short. Mind if I sit down? And they did their little flirtiness back and forth. And I just, they're so cute.
Mm-hmm. I did like that Isaiah was like, so what's your take on Sonny? Because I've talked to him a couple times. I hear some not so good things about him, and she's like, people that I care about Sonny.
Yep.
So she did not really give an answer other than that. But she did say it was like kind of a gray area because she's like, yeah, so he does a lot of things that it's not supposed to do.
Right.
Not a fan of Charlie's.
No.
We've been saying this for a couple years now. Cause remember, it's like all the suits are like the blue plaid or like the blue, why all the blue? Why? Not everything has to be bougie. Dive bars are okay, especially if you're having live music on Friday nights. Give me a good old dive bar. We don't have to match Lucky's eyes. You're taking away from his eyes by having the light all around him. Let his blue light shine.
Oh my God, you're a dork. I liked him dressed up though. Like he had a button-up shirt on. I liked him in that shirt instead of just like a normal t-shirt.
I don't know though.
See, I did because he wasn't too dressy. Like I didn't think Liz needed to be there in that dress. Like he was like, oh, you look so pretty, whatever. And I was like, no, she's like overdone.
Maybe she was being cute for him though.
Maybe, but I still felt like she was overdone. She didn't need to put in that much effort. And Laura said to Jordan, like, oh, you look nice. And I thought, Jordan looks the same as she always looks. I didn't notice anything different about her either.
She looks like she just came from work. Yeah, like that's something that we would see her working at the office in.
Yeah, because she was like, I just came from Charlie's. And then Laura stopped and was like, oh, yeah, you look so pretty. And I was like, I mean, she always looks pretty. She's beautiful. Right. But she did not have anything special that would make me think,
she wasn't sparkly.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at her and be like, oh, you went somewhere special tonight. What's up? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, no.
Who are you with? Date night? What's up? You know? Exactly.
So that's not the impression I got from her, but whatever. And Maxie looked cute, but wasn't too overdone. Like Maxie looked nice. So yeah, I liked that he was dressed up, but not like a suit and tie, but I mean, there's not much that Lucky could put on or take off that I would object to, but he looked very good in that. But
it's supposed to be a pub.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I wanted to know.
Jordan said that the Savoy is like a nice night out. And what did she say? I think I actually wrote this one down. That
she said they complement each other well.
Yes. Go to the Savoy for a night out or Charlie's for an intimate evening. I feel like Savoy would be an intimate evening.
Nah, because they have like
that's a dance. See everyone dressed up and but dancing's intimate. You know, they have the little two tops are all over the place at the Savoy. I feel like the Savoy would be more of an intimate setting than Charlie's. And it's named Charlie's.
I wanted to know what Cody's bill was. That was going to be my deciding factor. If they were like, hey, you broke $100 worth of glasses, I was going to be like, okay. If they were like, you broke $1,000 worth of glasses, then I was going to be like, okay, now we're a little too bougie, because I know that glasses aren't cheap, but I assume that like barware, you're buying it in bulk, so it is cheaper, and it shouldn't be $1,000 for what Cody ended up breaking.
Yeah.
So that was going to be my deciding if they went too bougie or not. It looked nice. It just,
It's not a pub. It's not a gastro pub. I don't know. I don't like it. And I'm okay with change-ish. I'm okay-ish with change.
I was going to say, are you okay?
I just don't think it's correct.
Yeah.
It's the Brown Dog is the sports bar.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's is the kind of place you can go to in the middle of the afternoon and not feel like, why am I here at 1:00 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
The Savoy is a night out, exactly like Jordan said. Like, it's a night out. It's not open during the day. It's not open for lunch. It's only drinks and shows, music, dancing, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, but I guess it's also the same thing in real life. I mean, the hole in the walls are going away. They're patching over the holes, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, that is true. Everybody wants to be fancy. It impressed Jenz.
Not everything has to be fancy.
I agree. Oh, but I was happy that Jordan did what we said last week. Like, finally, someone hears his name and is like, wait a second, that guy's bad. So then she went to Laura and was like, hey, so Lucy had a companion at the opening of Charlie's, and it happens to be the guy that held your son captive. And she's like, oh, okay. And then Lucy sent over the email that was like, Laura, you should meet with him because he wants to do all kinds of business here, and it would just be a great introduction. And so Laura was like, yeah, I'll take advantage of that. I would love to meet him. And then he shows up. I hated it, but he was so perfectly smug. He was like, where I was, there were no laws, so I broke no laws. And I was like, oh, you're right.
Kind of liked that, though.
Very frustrating.
Okay, but back to Ava real quick. She was going over to Spoon Island to give the painting to him. Where was the painting?
But he wasn't there either then.
No, because he later came and saw Alexis and got the title and everything. What kind of a closing did this man have? Oh, that was the other thing that we learned from Lucy, was that the developer backed out of the deal, the original deal, and I guess Jen stepped in. No, it closed.
Yeah.
There's not a 3-day waiting period. That's what you get the original, depending on your loan. If you have the 3-day waiting period between when you get your final numbers and closing, but you don't sign all the paperwork and go, no, you know what? Changed our mind.
No. And why does Alexis have the title?
She was an attorney. That one I kind of understand, possibly, but it would depend on who did the closing. Okay. But at the same time, he would have received that at closing, and Lucy already gave him all of his closing documents.
Okay, I didn't think about the attorney side of it. It was just like, oh, it's a family heirloom, so of course I have the deed to this house. And I'm like, why would you still have the deed to that house?
Right. So I was more shocked with, so Lucy told Alexis that the developer pulled out of the sale of Spoon Island, and I said, no, it was lost. Ava got the papers. It was lost. Ava got the papers. I don't know what that means. The seller doesn't have to disclose the secret tunnels.
Oh, that I knew you were going to be like, what?
So
pretty sure that compromises the foundation. So you would need to let people know.
New York's seller's disclosure is 6 pages, and it's written like in 14-point font. Do you remember when you bought your house? Like, it was like the teeniest, tiniest. I mean, it was legible, but it was like 8-point font, full, top to bottom, like 9 pages. This is like, does it have a sprinkler system? Yes, no, unknown. Like, all these crazy things. Are there flooding, drainage, or grading problems? I think so. If you have tunnels, I'm thinking that there could be. Does the basement have seepage that results in standing water? So that's a good question, because what if it just evaporates? So then it's not standing? So you don't have to say, right.
Right.
What is the type of sewage system? Has the water quality and or flow been tested? What is the water source? I'm actually kind of curious about that one myself.
Guess we're never going to have Lucy sell us a house.
No. And who filled out these disclosures? Who's the seller that filled them out? Like, who's this?
You're taking it a little too far.
No, I'm sorry. I like my job. This gives realtors a bad name.
Hey, I may have Lucy sell houses for me because apparently you don't have to disclose anything. I'm like, it's in perfect condition. Just give me $1 million for it.
Right? Ay. Yeah. Oh, and then there was something I read that if the seller fails to, it requires home sellers to make certain disclosures about material defects in the property or pay a credit of $500 to the buyer at closing. Do you know how many sellers would just pay $500 to not talk about anything?
Exactly. Oh my.
I know. So I just want to know who filled out the disclosure.
It would have been Ava because Ava was the one selling it.
Yeah, but she would have had to have accepted this sales agreement. She accepted the previous one, but what happened when apparently that one fell through? None of this makes sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense because they're also saying that Ava didn't own it to sell it. So,
right.
And they're also still listing the property as part of their property, but he obviously is living there. So,
right.
They need to clear all of that up still. Which is what I thought Alexis was going to say whenever she met him was, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know who told you that you bought it, but you didn't. You can rent it, but you can't buy it because it's listed here in the Cassadine Estates.
Right. They need to look into this stuff.
I mean, as long as they want to keep having the conversations on Pier 54, I'm okay with it.
That's totally fine too. That's absolutely fine.
Take all day to discuss.
And we never saw Lucy complaining about the fact that the original sale fell apart because she would have owed her commission back then.
Yeah.
There's no way she got to keep that. And I'm sure that was a hefty chunk.
Right.
Okay. I'll get off that. Okay. What else? Okay. So we saw Liz and Lucky were talking with Martin. It makes so much sense that Cyrus is feeling guilty over not being there for his mom.
It does, but like Liz said, Sam and Dex were not terminal. So what the heck?
Right.
Which we also said before.
Right.
So I don't get it. They don't get it either. Nobody understands what he's doing or why.
No. Martin seemed to be very loose-lipped too.
Yeah.
Like he was very, very forthcoming. I mean, he was probably just like, well, yeah, here, I'm going to tell you about your uncle.
Right. Maybe if it wouldn't have been Lucky, he wouldn't have been so open.
Yeah, because he really was talking more about his brother to his nephew, not...
Right. He wasn't trying to give like scoop on Cyrus, like as Cyrus. He was just like, yeah, he has guilt because of our mom, blah, blah, blah. And then Lucky even said to him, so what do you think about what's going on? And he was like, we've never talked about any patient other than your sister, so I don't know.
Right.
So that was... I don't know that they got much information from that, but... I did wonder if Liz already signed up to volunteer yet, because if not, Jocelyn just took her spot.
Oh, well, no, Liz is going to volunteer at the mission, not at Turning Woods.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I do kind of feel like she wouldn't be allowed to volunteer at Turning Woods if she's on administrative leave or whatever kind of leave she is on from a hospital right now. It might not be a good idea to allow her.
True. If they thought she was killing people, that would make sense.
Yeah. Oh, but then we saw Cody going over to Spinelli, brought up the society setups. We totally forgot that was still an unresolved storyline, but that was like 2 years ago anyway, so it might have been on last year's recap. And so then he winds up punching out Cody, or Lucky. Yeah. And then Lucky winds up at the PCPD. Cody winds up at the PCPD. Liz is cleaning Lucky up, and she was like, I would love to see the two of you play poker. Fine. But yeah, like Cody was trying to extort money from Spinelli to keep his secret about society setups, and then he just decided to have it out with Lucky for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he was telling Lucky to mind his business because Lucky jumped in and was like, okay, because he didn't want Spinelli to get hit. And then he hit Lucky instead. But Brick broke it up because we can count on Brick for everything.
Yep. Including running a background check on Isaiah.
Yep.
Which I liked that.
Jordan didn't want to know about it. She was like, nope, I will find out stuff the old-fashioned way. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, I did like Molly talking whenever he was in jail, because she was like, listen, we're going to let you off. You just need to agree to pay for the damages. It's just why I came in with was it going to be 100 or 1,000? And he was like, oh, isn't it a conflict of interest since it's your sister that owns it? And she was like, no, because we just want you to agree to pay the damages. And then he was like, well, Little Miss Perfect. And she was like, well, if Little Miss Perfect ever arrives, I'll let her know your advice. But I'm just trying to get this like negotiated out. And I didn't like that then she went to Felicia, though, and Felicia was like, oh, what's going on? And she was like, I think that Max giving him a dose of reality, because sometimes that's what you need to do. I know I learned that from seeing my mom with Kristina. And I was like, okay, can you just stop?
Like, there's that Little Miss Perfect that you were looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Stop ragging on Kristina. She was trying to give you what you wanted.
Yep.
Be grateful.
Oh, and Felicia went to Willow. Oh, no, she went to Sasha was watching the kids at the gatehouse. And Willow just never went home. Like, Willow never thought to check, like, to go back to the gatehouse. Like, I'm so confused by so much of that. But Sasha was reading to the kids, and Felicia told Sasha about how Alan rigged the nursery to catch Monica cheating, and the roof dropped in on himself, because Sasha was wondering how Willow could choose Drew. And somehow Felicia draws a parallel between herself and Frisco, the father of her children, the love of her life, the Frisco.
Yes, the Frisco, exactly.
And Drew, there is no comparison between Frisco and Drew. None.
Nope.
None.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Nope. But I did like that Felicia, she's getting better at accepting that she made mistakes. And she said, if it wasn't for Maxie letting me back in, I would not be the mom that I am now, because I made poor choices whenever it came to choosing between Mac and Frisco. And I did not put my kids first and do the things that I should have done. And Sasha was like, oh, I find that hard to believe because you're such a good mom now. And I was like, oh, no, trust us. That's how it went down.
But also, she did lose Mac. She failed to mention that part. She did lose Mac. She chose, like, she did all that. And
she didn't get back with Mac until they were way older. Like, she did ruin that relationship originally because of choosing Frisco.
Yep. That was 2013. It was the last time that Frisco tried to win her back, because he came back for the 50th anniversary and sang All I Need on stage at the nurses' ball.
Oh my God. I can't believe that was that long ago.
I know.
Oh, their love story was so pretty.
This summer will be 10 years since Luke's been gone.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
It's been a quick 10 years.
Yes. Time flies.
What else? Oh, Anna had asked Brennan if he planted the device at Sonny's, and he's like, no, he's more of a problem for the UNODC, and that's the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes.
Oh, okay.
His brand of racketeering is small potatoes. He tells her his brand of racketeering is small potatoes. His is more, maybe I don't know. But basically he said no.
I feel like that would make more sense, because that's like local to the United States, where the WSB is worldwide. So he's like, I don't have any interest in Sonny, because he's too, like, the United States people care about how
United Nations. United Nations.
Sorry.
So that's not the United States.
Yeah, no, that doesn't then.
No.
Okay. Nope. I can't justify. Never mind.
Nope. It's
thought process
makes
gone.
no sense.
Yeah. I was thinking you were saying United States. Nope.
Nope. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Small scroll moment. It was only established in 1997. The agency's focus is trafficking, the abuse of illicit drugs, crime prevention, and criminal justice, international terrorism, and political corruption. Maybe he was saying that he's not, because Sonny doesn't do drugs. We've already discussed this one.
Right.
He just smuggles fireworks. Epiphany verified that for us. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm over this whole bell ringing thing being
Felicia, that's an amazing detail that most people wouldn't remember. Well,
I have better training than most.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Blair Kramer called deception.
Oh, did she? I missed that.
That's when Lulu answered the phone and Maxie comes in. She said, Blair Kramer.
Okay. Nope. I missed you. She said I did like Laura and them being like, why didn't you take your business to Pine Valley or Landview or even New York? Why would you be here? And I was like,
right?
Yeah. Laura told Ava that she wouldn't testify on her behalf because of Sonny and her have found like a new understanding again. That was part of Ava's whole like why she was hating the world that day.
Yeah.
And then there was a 5-second conversation between Joss and Trina before she went to see what's his name, because they were like talking about moving on. Yeah. I think that's it though.
I do too.
Oh no, Sasha talking about the baby.
Oh,
that was sweet. I really liked that. I'm excited for her. I'm glad that they haven't given her any complications yet.
Yeah, me too. This one just needs, I mean, other than, the father of her child blowing up, or not blowing up, but, catching on fire and now being in another country.
Yeah.
Any other complications, I guess.
But that's minor. It's okay. Jason's going to fix it all. It'll be all right.
He will. Yes.
So.
All right.
Reality check.
So what do you have going on this week?
My week was boring. Yeah, I didn't do anything this week. It was all kid stuff. I took Megan to a doctor appointment on Tuesday, and they still don't know what's wrong with her and why her blood pressure is all over the place. So she gets to go to more doctors. And I took my mom to the doctor, and she's doing fine. So that's good. It was like a check for her pacemaker and everything. So that's all good. Mm-hmm. And Emily is on the floor at her beauty school. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area and want to go to Empire Beauty in Monroeville, Emily will be happy to help you. She's all about color. She doesn't have much confidence in her haircuts yet, so I'd steer clear of those. But she's all about color. She it was a running joke in our family this week. She dyed Matt's hair. He wanted that like platinum silver color that all the young people are going for, which I don't understand, but that was what he wanted. And so she dyed his hair, and he was happy with the results or whatever. But she called him. They did it once, and it didn't take like as silvery as he wanted it. It has like a purple undertone as part of that color. So it was more of a purple than the silver. So he wanted more silver. So she called him and was like, do you need me to pick up anything else besides just the silvery stuff? And he was like, he made the joke, oh, are we dyeing mom's hair too? And I was like, no, I'm doing my best to avoid the grays. I don't want to pay to have that done to my hair. And he was like, oh, come on, we could be the same color. It'd be funny. I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm not doing that. So, but anyway, she's loving her getting to do color stuff. She was nervous, obviously, but she's happy to be on the floor. And then Madeline's gearing up for competition season, and just to throw some more stuff into the schedule, cheer for the middle school, which does not start till next year. The conditioning started this month. So
I cannot believe that.
Yeah. So she has her she has a rehearsal tomorrow for the competitions that start next month. So I opted to have her skip her dance class this morning and go to the conditioning class for cheer practice. And it blows my mind. But, got to throw some extra stuff in there, because just when I have the schedule down pat, got to change it up some.
Of course.
So that's where we're at with that.
I can't.
I can't think about her being a 7th grader, so I'm just going to block it all out of my mind.
But it's not just that. I mean, they are kids. This isn't college. This isn't competitive. This isn't, I mean, yes, they have competitions, whatever, but this isn't. Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
Yep. They practice from now until the middle of March is actual tryouts. So
it's just bonkers.
Yep. But
I pretty much just brought everyone to work with me this week because everyone
take your family to work week.
Well, it was because my daughter had an extra 2 days off because of the frigid temperatures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So when the school, we've talked about this before, her school services 40 different school districts. And so and they don't do online. But when our school district goes online, she just doesn't go because they are not sending the buses. So she can't get there. And then the school winds up closing after like a handful
everywhere
of them.
was closed anyway.
Yeah. But so she did.
It was cold.
It was. We pretty much, for the most part, stayed home on Tuesday. But then on Wednesday, I had photos for an upcoming listing, and then was supposed to have a closing that actually got delayed until Thursday. But so she came with me. We did yoga again on Wednesday night.
Nice.
And then today, my husband and I went to 2 open houses, doing a little recon for that upcoming listing that I just got the photos for. 2 houses pretty nearby, like in the neighborhood, were listed this week that were completely different price points, but very similar houses. So I was like, what the heck? And but it was fun playing a buyer. I've gone to open houses. I've gone to open houses as an agent and just been like, I'm an agent, I'm previewing for a client, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, no, let's be a buyer. And so he was the buyer. I was just there. And when they said, are you working with an agent? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had a showing. I had a showing that he came on also. And then I learned, I know my book lovers are going to love me for this. I learned this from the yoga instructor. There is an app called Libib, Libib. And if you're familiar with the Libby app, that's what I thought she said at first. And it's not. It's not Libby. It is Libib. It is an app that you can scan the books that you own and it catalogs them for you. And you can say how you want them to be organized.
Oh my God.
You can create your own. So on Goodreads, I have my own, I tag, if am I writing for professional development, personal development, leisure, whatever. I did change it from pleasure. Because remember, you made fun of me. And I was like, yeah, that does sound wrong. So I changed it to leisure.
Nothing wrong with some pleasure here and there.
I don't read 50 Grays. That's not 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Grays, whatever.
I knew what you meant.
That's not my style. But yeah, so I downloaded this app and I am super excited that I think after my trip, I'm going to go catalog all my books.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna write them a note though, because I was like, can you share this with someone so that way they can see if you have a book or not? Because
that would be
handy. JD will buy me books, and he's like, I'm so torn because I don't know if you have one or not. And he's like, but he knows that I'm not going to get upset. If I have something, that just means I'll just exchange it. But he obviously wants to get me something I don't have. So
right.
If I could give somebody a list and be like, here's all the books I own, or here's the ones that I've read.
Yeah.
He could look at my Goodreads, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you go. If you're a book reader, collector, Libib.
Alrighty.
Yep. And with that, join us on Thursday as we continue talking about Lucky and Liz.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
Summer's nearly over. It's time to get back to real life. Luckily, Cinch has got all the essentials sorted. And we're not talking about new textbooks. Let's see. The biggest range of cars to buy entirely online? Check. Free 90-day warranty? Sorted. And faff-free Cinch servicing at a Marshall store near you? Absolutely cinched it. Everything you need and not a pencil case in sight. Cinch it for yourself today. Visit cinch.co.uk. Comparison against equivalent retailers. Visit cinch.co.uk/range claim. Terms and exclusions apply.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.